हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू आईआईटी जेई लेक्चर सीरीज इन मैथमेटिक्स। आज के इस लेक्चर में हम छोटे छोटे कुछ टॉपिक्स कवर करेंगे लाइक अल्जेब्रिक आइडेंटिटीज़, इंडेक्स एंड लॉ ऑफ इंडिसेस एंड इंटरवल्स। तो सबसे पहले हम कुछ अल्जेब्रिक आइडेंटिटीज़ देखते हैं। इसमें सबसे पहला है a प्लस बी होल स्क्वायर। दिस वी ऑल नो, a स्क्वायर प्लस 2ab प्लस b स्क्वायर। Next is a minus b whole square. This we can write it as a square minus 2ab plus b square. Next is a square minus b square, which is equal to a plus b multiplied with a minus b. Now there is another identity, x plus a multiplied with x plus b. This we can write it as x square plus a plus b multiplied with x plus ab. Now there is another identity, a plus b plus c whole square. Now this is in 3 variable. We can easily memorize this in a very sequential manner. A square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. Next is a plus b whole cube. This we can write it as a cube plus b cube plus 3ab in bracket we have a plus b. अब इस एक्सप्रेशन को हम दूसरे तरीके से भी लिख सकते हैं, ये ब्रैकेट हम ओपन करके, लाइक वी कैन राइट इट एज a क्यूब प्लस b क्यूब प्लस 3a स्क्वायर b प्लस 3ab स्क्वायर. In similar fashion we have a minus b whole cube. This we can write it as a cube minus b cube minus 3ab in bracket we have a minus b. इसे भी हम दूसरे तरीके से लिख सकते हैं, a क्यूब माइनस b क्यूब माइनस 3a स्क्वायर b प्लस 3ab स्क्वायर. The last identity is a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc. Now this is equal to a plus b plus c multiplied with a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus c. So this can also be very very much useful. इसके अलावा भी कुछ आइडेंटिटीज़ होते हैं जो हम किसी दूसरी आइडेंटिटी से डिराइव कर सकते हैं, लाइक वी हैव a cube plus b cube and a cube minus b cube. So these two identities can be derived from a plus b whole cube and a minus b whole cube. So the next topic we have is index and law of indices. तो सबसे पहले हम इंडेक्स की डेफिनेशन देख लेते हैं कि इंडेक्स होता क्या है. The definition is, let there be a number a multiplied by itself m times, then it can be represented as a raised m. Here a is called the base and m is called the index, and index is also called power or exponent. अब ये कहता है कोई एक नंबर a है जिसे खुद से ही मल्टीप्लाई किया गया है m टाइम्स. सो here we can see a multiplied by a multiplied by a, and this has been performed m times, so we can write it as a raised m. Here a will be called as base and exponent m, this is index. Now there are some law associated with index which we will go through one by one. The first one is a raised m plus n. This we can write it as a raised m multiplied with a raised n, where m and n are rational numbers. The next is a raised minus m. So this we can write it as 1 upon a raised m. But there is one condition, a should not be equal to 0. Why? Because now a is coming in the denominator, therefore it should not be 0. The next one is a raised 0 which is equal to 1. Again there is a condition, that a, which is the base, should not be equal to 0. Now there is another one, a raised m minus 1, a raised m minus n, which we can write it as a raised m divided by a raised n. Now again m and n are rational numbers, and a, since it is coming in the denominator, it should not be equal to 0. The next one is a raised m, and this whole number is raised to the power n. This we can write it as a raised mn. So means both the index m and n are multiplied together. The next one is a raised p upon q. So this we can write it as, it is the qth root of a raised to the power p. And the last one is, there are two numbers a, b, which are multiplied together and raised to the power n. This we can write it as a raised n multiplied with b raised n. So all these identities are, all these laws of indices are covered here. This will be very useful in problem solving. Now the next topic that we have is intervals. Now intervals are very frequently used while solving inequalities. So intervals are basically subset of real number are used in solving inequalities. Now we are going to define the different types of intervals, for which we have two numbers a and b which belongs to real number r, such that number a is less than number b. Then we can define intervals as, the first one is open interval. Now any number x which belongs to the open interval ab, it means it can be anywhere between a and b except at a and b. So the endpoints in the open interval are not included in this interval. Next is closed interval. So this closed interval is similar to open interval, except that endpoints a and b are included in the interval. So the any number which belongs to closed interval ab can be anywhere between a and b, and it can be a and b as well. The next interval is open closed. So it is open at one end and closed at another end. So this we can write it as x which can be greater than a and lesser than equal to b. So in this interval a is not included while b is included in the interval. The last one is closed open interval. So this is also similar to open closed. Only difference is x is greater than equal to a and less than b. So here if you talk about the endpoints, so in the endpoints a is included in the interval while the b is not included. In the continuation of the interval discussion, we have some types of interval like infinite intervals. So if we write it as x which belongs to a to infinity, it means x is greater than a. X belongs to closed interval a to infinity, it means x is greater than equal to a. Now there is another interval, infinite interval, which belongs to minus infinity to b. So here x can be anywhere below b. Next is x belongs to minus infinity to close interval b. So here x is less than equal to b. And the last one is x belongs to minus infinity to plus infinity on the real number line. It means it can be anywhere on the entire real number line. Now we have some intervals where we define some discrete values. So before this, whatever we have discussed, it was a continuous interval. So the values were on the continuous line on the real number line. But if we have to denote something in the discrete values, like we have to denote only two values 1 and 2, then we can write it in the curly braces. So x belongs to curly braces 1 2 means x equal to 1 comma 2. So the x can take any value between these two values 1 and 2. Now there is an interval where there is no value, so x belongs to 5. So this is called null set, void set or empty set, means there is no value which exists for x. Thank you.